Jesus Christ is in the air. Love it tonight, the mighty man of war. Somebody get Jesus. I have been through tribulation. Yo, some people never know say you're going to listen tonight, you know. I have been through persecution. Put up in our men and sisters all still alive. Tell them, thank God I crossed over. There are some people when most of them cross, just stand up and say, Holy cross. the blessing of a pour down. Listen, when we leave our home, come here tonight to worship Jesus. So I said, they want to sweat up and wet up, just worship Jesus. Because some people never know you're going to live to see today. Some people never know, say, you would be here tonight. Tell them, say, you're not here by chance. You're on a purpose. You have been through tribulation. Holy Ghost, I love you, Jesus. You have been through persecution. I know see I put up here and let them say, thank God I cross over. We are going to put a cross tonight. Hold me cross over. In this life, me trial were many. Some of the time them me know say I be a foreigner there, you know. So uno na go say we people do, uno na go sing it like all me sing. Here in a feet. Yeah, I be a foreign people there. Me I bring Jamaica from my jersey, so me I sing the Jamaica way. And sometime me foot them get weary. Oh, I get feel like I would stumble. I know them are gonna see so. Me know them are gonna say fall. But sometimes when my problem come in a fall, you know me know. I get feel like I would stumble and drop a grave. Me know myself, but the jail too long to leave me. I wish some people that just feel the present attack tonight. Some people just shout out and warm up your mouth and say thank you Jesus. Thank you, Jesus, on the journey. To Lord, stop lead me. Put up your hand and say, lead me, Jesus. It's the hand that lead me steady. You see, I want to power one for some millions. Oh, yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Put up on hand tonight and say, Jesus, give me grace. That time would make it after all. Can you walk me about and sing? And after all, it's just we are man. Just we are man. 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 One voice and love of Jesus. Big up. In this life, me try and make any holy. Some of the time, me forget it we. And it feel like I will suffer. I'm straight from love. One voice and love of on the jail. So last time lead Jesus. It's God that keep me. Put up with our message. Give me grace. That time will make it. Can I see some one more people sing? And after all, this life is over. I'm away for years. And then Jesus is gone. I climb upon the mountain top so
And good night to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. The rest of the Eastern Caribbean. Those of you listening locally, regionally, internationally. Our friends on the International Space Station. Those in submarines under the ocean. Wherever you are listening to Talking Points tonight, we say a special, glorious Grenadian good night to each and every one of you. Yeah? And let me say a special good night to the New National Party family. And also those who may not support yet the New National, we are coming along, who are not yet supporting the New National Party, but we know you soon will. We say good night to you as well. Yes, indeed. And we say a special good night to all of you who are joining us via the various mediums. Those of you joining us via YouTube, those of you joining us via Facebook, those of you joining us via We Noise Radio, One Soca Radio. Buddy! Good night, bro. Wade, good night to you as well. Yeah, hope all of you are having a wonderful and pleasant night tonight. And let me see who's on the YouTube. I see Agnes Henry, Vanessa Lalji, Claude Abraham. Claude, good night to you. Hey, Alban, where are they? Nice. Ruth Thomas, Kathleen Ledlow, Listra Abraham, Errol Bonaparte. Well, I see Alban, looky day. Right. Janice Mitchell, Angela Lendor, Deborah Flanders, Dalton Strawn, Faithlyn, Hallie Douglas, good night to you, my dear. And Jacinta Livingston, Jacinta, good night to you. I hope everything is going all well and okay with you, my dear. Oh, Jacinta, you're listening out there in Canada. All right, yes, I hope you enjoy your time there. I know the temperature in right now. Yeah, there's no time. You're looking to head down just now. Bernadette Joseph, good night to you. Denise Sandy, Anna Lewis, Anne-Marie Grant, Rosalind Jones, Dolores Redhead, Christine Alexander, Mayana Julian, Sky, Shirley Skerrett, Glenda, Margaret, Francis, John, Joyce Lewis, Oswald Belfon, good night to you. Jerome Kenneth Lewis, Stephanie John, good night to you, Stephanie John, Natalia, your husband, the entire home circle, Antonito, good night to you, Shirley and James, Chris London, Hillary Joseph, good night, and let me see the message there, nice. Teresa Joseph, along with Hillary Joseph, Kathleen Knight, Cicely Celestine, Maud Martin, Baby Daddy, Carib Spice Witness, Kenny, good night to you, Kenny. Anne-Marie Dick, Jackie Raymond, and I see Hillary Joseph there. We call out Hillary Joseph, nice. Olive McEwen, salam, good night to you. Dalma Scott, Ivy Hines, let me see, Ivy? Yeah, Ivy Hines, Anastasia Peterson, Gillian Williams, Jakeem Williams, Ron Julian, Marilyn Pancho, Chris London. I see you there fighting up as usual, brother. Let me make sure, yeah. Only hit the like button. Right. Jocelyn Matteson, Olive McEwen, Sharon Felix, Jacinta Alves, Andra Burke, Maureen Samuel, and that's on the YouTube. Let me see who is on the Facebook Live quickly. And yeah, we're going on the Facebook Live there. Yeah, Sherms Houston, Joan Henry Landon, Jane Kathleen Jones. Hey, cuz, Kathleen, how you doing, cuz? Merrill George, Tessa Collymore, Shami Joseph, Leslie James, Nicole Alexander, Laslin Douglas, Enoch Bain. That sound like you went and play some basketball and thing and sports and you hooked up yourself there. We know that does go. Dillian Pierre, Winnie Simon, James Arnold. Good night to you, James. Shirley Lacrette, Walanakwat, Cynthia B, Esther Peters, Gillian Prescott, John Mark, Nurse Wendy Ann McGuire. Special good night to you, my dear. Lynn Joseph, Ingrid Bourne, Mark Courtney, Charmaine Ragbasing. All of you coming on to the Facebook Live, we say a special glorious Grenadian good night to each and every one of you. Sometimes you had to take it old school, you understand? Yeah. There
are few left inside, he's that had not defiled garment.
Mokopin! Jacket Man, good night to you. Moko Joseph, good night to you. I ain't sure if Moko Payne and Moko Joseph is the same person, because I know Moko Payne. Moko Payne is my good partner in Springs, yeah?
Nothing wrong if it's still true. Nothing wrong if you live holy. At the end of the day, you're
Jonesy, good night to you and Michelle. And of course, good night to Zoe. Mr. and Mrs. Pope.
At the end of the day,
Kathy Pope, good night to you. Alston Pope, good night to you as well. Let me say a special good night to my loving cuz. I just call her Margaret Joseph, good night. What's saying Joseph, Lord? Margaret Williams, good night to you.
a revelation that teach me to wash.
And yeah, well, since I call in cousins, good night to you, Ira. Haley Ira Staman. And Gemlin, all of you, all my cousins, yeah?
I got a revelation that teach me to walk straight. Nothing wrong if you are worthy. Nothing wrong if you stay true. Nothing wrong if you live holy. At the end of the day, you're working for a crown. Nothing wrong if you nothing wrong if you stay true. Nothing wrong if you live holy. At the end of the day, you're working for a crown. Working for a crown. Working for a crown. Working for a crown. I am working for a crown. I'm 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 working for a crown.
Yeah, cousin Margaret, I hope you're having a wonderful night tonight.
Working for a crown. I am working for a crown. Yeah, working for a crown. There are few left inside this that are not defiled with garment. Revelation. Can't call the revelation that teach me.
And folks, we were waiting with bated breath for tomorrow because we heard that the Prime Minister was going to speak to us, the Grenadian people. Yeah, he was finally going to tell us what is taking place with the requests by the US government. Yeah.
Can't call the revelation that teach.
Good night to you, Mr. Handsome. Hope you're having a wonderful night tonight. Yeah. Yeah, we were hoping that we would have heard from the Prime Minister tomorrow. There was supposed to be a parliament sitting tomorrow. So the Prime Minister appeared on his program this week, and on that program he said to us that he would be speaking about that issue, the issue of the American requests. Not requests, they're requests. It's more than one, from what we have heard. So that there are two requests that are in by the US government. And in fact, I wonder, yes, we do have the Prime Minister here. No, we don't have him in studio, but we have what he said. Yes, so let's play what the Prime Minister said, because we were supposed to be hearing it in Parliament tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah, we were supposed to be hearing that in Parliament tomorrow. But guess what? They have postponed the Parliament sitting to next week. I don't know, like the Prime Minister just playing for time, eh? He's just playing for time on this particular one. So let's hear.
Making
Yeah, let's hear what the Prime Minister.
every talk show, every social media platform, that is the conversation regarding, the U.S. request. And you did say you would make a formal announcement on. Would it also include what the response would be?
No, it's really to provide an update. Nothing much has changed since the Ministry of Foreign Affairs indicated that we were considering the request. We are still doing so. It is a technical matter that requires a lot of technical people to provide us with guidance on what it is we've been asked to accommodate. And so it's important. The public became aware of this through media reports, and we responded. But this request was made since August. We're in October. So if we were in a position to make a decision, August, September, October, and if we wanted to rush to do so, we could have done so. So the fact is, and that's why I think it's important for people to appreciate, whether it's the United States or any other region.
And the main thing I wanted you all to get from that is that the Prime Minister and the government knew of this request since August. Yeah? He knew of this request since August. So there was a request to place certain... At the end of the day, we the Grenadian people are not privy to exactly what the request said. We are not aware. We do not know. And as such, we cannot comment and say anything further than we do not know. Yeah? We can't comment further than that we do not know. But the request And we know what part of the request is, at least because it was sent out by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We know what part of the request says. This request was received by the government of Grenada in the month of August. We, the Grenadian people, only found out when a non-Grenadian website, not even a Grenadian news entity, a regional news entity, reported that that request had been made of the government of Grenada. Yeah? And we found that out in when? October. So August, September, October is when we found out about that particular request. In the period between that request being made and us becoming aware of the request being made, so between August and October, sometime in September, the same Prime Minister of the same government where that request was made put out a note saying that he is willing to be an interlocutor, he's a middleman, to join all sides in relation to avoid conflict and that sort of thing. At a point in time that he received the request and had not even made a decision on the request. But there he was putting out that he wants to be the one to negotiate, bring all sides together and all that sort of thing. And he didn't say yea or nay or whatever direction in relation to the request. But there he was making that statement with full knowledge of that request being inside. It tells you the type of individuals we're dealing with. It says a lot about the type of individuals we're dealing with when they can do such a thing. That knowing that they have something like that before them, they still, in that period of time, send out something saying, we willing to be the people to bring people together. Yeah? But not only that, only this week, and the credit goes on this one to the WPG-10, only this week we found out that there is also a request that has been brought forward again so that Grenada will take refugees from the from the United States, that Grenada would take refugees. That request, which was made earlier in the year, has been made once again. So we are back to that particular one again, along with the request in relation to staging of certain things. Again, we have not seen the request, we don't know. So we have to think. We can't discuss things without facts behind them and knowing exactly. Yeah, that is why we need the government to speak on this particular issue and tell us what is going on. Yeah.
Legal Affairs Minister Claudette Joseph confirmed the United States had raised the deportee issue again, but referred to the government's earlier position on the matter.
We did receive earlier in the year, I think sometime in January, a request to house third party or third country refugees or nationals, third country nationals. And we did indicate then to the United States that we will be willing to accept Grenadians who they wish to deport out of the United States, but not third country nationals. The request has since been renewed, and we have not responded because we have not officially changed our position, but they have.
So the request has been done again. After you say what you said earlier to the US, it has been stated again, and you have not responded yet. So you are giving consideration, it seems, to the request at this point in time. Other than that, you would have already given an answer in relation to it. So that is what they're basically saying now, that they're giving consideration to certain things.
Did indicate then to the United States that we will be willing to accept Grenadians who they wish to deport out of the United States, but not third country nationals. The request has since been renewed, and we have not responded because we have not officially changed our position. But they have again made the request as far as I know, but we have not given an answer.
Do we have to give an answer?
Well, as nations deal with each other diplomatically and properly, if a nation speaks to you, it's only proper that you speak back and you indicate, you communicate.
Reliable.
Yeah, reliable. Yeah, man. Thank you very much, WPG10. Yeah, for your footage that we just used. Thank you so very much for your footage that we just used. Nice. Yeah, folks. So that is the situation. Yeah, a request was made since August, and you and I, and the other Grenadian people, wherever we are, had no knowledge that that request was made. So while they were playing jab, that request was there since August, jab time. Yeah, they were too busy playing jab to come and tell you, the Grenadian people, of what was being put forward. Yeah, in other words, that is not your business. If you find out, you find out. When the information busts this month in October, that is the point in time that they decided that they're going to respond and basically confirm that that request was in. And now we're hearing that that isn't the only request that's there, that there is another request. I've heard from unofficial sources or some other aspects of the other requests, and I won't repeat it here because it's from unofficial sources, and until the government comes out and says something firm in relation to that particular issue, I'm basically leaving it alone. But this is how we are treated in our country. Again, it seems as though, well, not seems as though, we've been told directly that information is on a need-to-know basis. Yeah? We have been told that information is on a need-to-know basis. So, we are waiting for the information from the... Charmaine, behave. We are waiting on the information. So, we hoped beyond hope that we would have gotten that information tomorrow, which was Friday, which we were promised the information would have been given to the Grenadian people at the parliament sitting. An update. How they going to set at least timelines in relation to the whole thing? That would have been given to the Grenadian people on Friday. But now we've heard that the sitting has been pushed back to Tuesday for whatever reason. In my view, the Prime Minister is ducking. He's trying to stretch it as long as possible before having to speak to the Grenadian people extensively on this issue. Yes, he went into his safe space, and nothing is wrong with that. People from time to time go into their safe space. So he went into his safe space, which was his program, where he could control the narrative and he could control what is being said and what is being asked and so on. So he went into his safe space and he opened himself. He got one question in relation to it. Then he said, well, we go talk on that on Friday, and that killed any further probing in relation to it by callers and so on. And then while he give people that to hold, no, very well, they ain't going and really go in Parliament on Friday. So that sitting has now been moved to next week, Tuesday. So we look forward to hear on Tuesday what is said in relation to this issue. We know that many Grenadians are seriously concerned about it. They would like to know what the mindset is going into the discussions on this issue and so on. So that's where we are at with that particular one. Right? Yeah, just yeah, I done with that now. Yeah, me, I done. I do a lock. I done with that one, I say. Right? Nice. Yes, folks. Also, today I saw some footage of the Clogier situation, and let me see, I can just play it for you. I saw some footage of the present situation up there in Clogier, because sometimes they like to say we forget thing and we forget people and we forget thing. No, we ain't forget people, we ain't forget what going on, right? So I saw some footage earlier today of the project in Clogier, and I'll pull it up for you before I get into a broader discussion in relation to this. Yeah, this is Clogier, the project. Yeah, up in the corner there we can see the house that has been undermined, is deemed no longer safe or habitable, and you recognize that If rainfall, you could forget that vehicle being able to pass there. That is one thing. If you have a little bit of rainfall there becomes swampy. That is mud. So that vehicle will not be able to pass there. But if you all recognize as well, there's nobody working there. What has happened with the contractors? Where have the workers gone? Why is no work taking place at that location at this point in time? Has the government ran out of money for that project? Why are there no workers? Are you seeing any workers around there? I see a look steamroller there, yeah, look a steamroller, but there's nobody there. And it's not like, okay, to say, well, you do this at lunchtime. I've had numerous reports that there are no workers on the site for an extended period of time right now. And as you all can notice, this is incomplete. This is not complete. Because you would have had to pour your concrete and everything to raise the level of this. You realize they just rest this there. So the project itself is not complete. So why are there no workers on site? We also still await to find out if the geotechnical study that we heard about months ago, since in August we heard about the necessity for a geotechnical study in that area. It means that they have to go down and find out where the bedrock is, the rock at the bottom, where that is. They have to find out where the underground water is passing in that area, the soil type, how deep the soil type goes, the type of rock, not just that it's rock, but the type of rock and how deep that rock may go. They have to find out all those sort of things before they could have done any substantive amount of work. Instead, what we saw is that we saw work continuing at the location without the geotechnical study, which may very well mean that when the work restarts there, if work ever restarts there, that this entire thing may have to be rooted out. The whole thing that you're seeing here. The geotechnical study could very well say that all of that needs to be moved. It could very well say that what has been done there is going to cause more problems. We do not know. We have no idea. Because as far as we know, the geotechnical studies have not been done. And the work should have been paused in the beginning. Not until it reached this stage. It should have been paused then, do the geotechnical study, which would have informed the engineers of which direction to go with the work. If it was to continue doing a wall or to stop. If what you needed was something more resilient. If it was something that you needed to put in another location. But instead of that, they continued, it seems, until the money ran out. So now, as far as we're hearing, it seems as though money ran out for the project and the people of Closier are left holding the bag. Because some people, and you know them, they're going to jump up and say now, well, look, Closier people could pass. The road open, Closier people could pass. They could pass when the place dry. But when it rains, it's a totally different story there. Totally different story there when it rains. And according to the type of vehicle you're driving, you cannot make it up that incline. And that is not just me saying it. That's the people of Closier for themselves have been saying that. So if you are in, forget it. A vehicle not making that incline. So our questions to the government of Grenada is what has happened to this project? Is it a situation that money has ran out? Is there some sort of conflict with the person who is doing the project, the contractor who is doing the project? Has the contractor been paid? Have they been receiving their monies? Because you know sometimes when contractors don't receive their money, contractors down tools and they go on their way. So has the contractor for this project been receiving their just due? Have they been receiving their monies for the project? Has the contractor been given a new scope? Or has a new contractor been brought in to do the work? And if so, when is that new contractor going to start? So is there a money problem? Is there a topography or geological problem? Is there a worker problem? What is the issue? The people of Closure deserve to know. We know they ain't go hear it from the MP because they can't see she. Forget that. They ain't seeing she. Yeah? They're not seeing their MB. This is what the people of Closure now have. And we know very well what happens with that kind of modern thing there when rain fall. So we know it ain't going to have no vehicle traveling there when rain fall. Even with a 4x4, you're catching hell to go up that incline. According to the type of 4x4 you have, you're catching hell to go up there, and forget it with some of them front wheel drive, according to the size of the engine and so. And your clearance, yeah, making it to the top of that if rain fall and that mud start to come down there again. So we see the clear and present danger. The people of Closure are asking for answers, and they deserve answers as to when this project will be restarted. They need to know if the geotechnical study has been done and the results of the geotechnical study. And even if you don't want to give the results of the geotechnical study, at least let us know that it has been done, that the engineers know what needs to take place, and that the engineers are going to be working on it as soon as. Yeah? Because people have family coming for Christmas and things, so they want to be safe. You understand? They want to be safe. They have family coming for the Christmas and them kind of thing. They want to be safe. They don't want to be having any problems there. Nice? And then we know, yes, it's midterm now. We know midterm for school and not for the government. They pass midterm long. Yeah, them on the way out. Them going. Midterm for school. Right, so midterm now. So the children have just about the same amount of time that they just spend in school again for the rest of the year. And we would like to ensure that they are safe going to and coming from. What? Deacon waiting on the African government to finish the road? We never know. Maybe going and import labor from there. Yeah, St. John's people, yeah, I'm reading some of the comments. Yeah, St. John people really catching their net. Well, they don't have representation. Representation is when you have people like Mr. Alvin Dabrio. That when you have a bridge collapse and so, that would immediately ensure that measures are put in place for the safe transport of people to and from their individual locations, and in a reasonable time frame the replacement of the bridge. That was Mr. Alvin Dabrio. So you can't measure the present MP by any other former MP of St. John, but definitely not by the last MP of St. John, Mr. Alvin Dabrio's standards. Because he did a lot of work in St. John, whether it was playing fields like the Cuthbert Peters Park and the pavilion and the lighting and so on that was done there, or the work he did in Power Park and other playing fields in St. John, or the polyclinic that they have downgraded to basically just another health center, when the polyclinic was supposed to be serving the people of the west coast of the island. Well, the polyclinic was supposed to be providing services for the people of St. John, St. Mark and St. Patrick, so they did not have to go to the Princess Alice or to the General Hospital. So that when someone goes into labor in St. John, they would not have had to go into a vehicle and try and find a way down to town. Sometimes baby born on the way. You know how many babies from St. John were born on the road heading down to the General Hospital, that the woman just couldn't make it in time? And that is why you have the polyclinic there. And you had rooms that were specifically put in place for that sort of thing, and equipment secured. Don't let them tell you otherwise. They took the equipment and put it where they want, but equipment was secured for the polyclinic in St. John. So people from St. Mark, when the ladies going to labor, they could have just had to make it right there to St. John, to the polyclinic, and be able to safely and efficiently have their baby delivered. Right now, they still have to be heading down to where? Trying to reach down to town. Baby born in Boujeju on the way down. Baby born in Brizan. Baby born all Perseverance coming down. You have to pull at the side of the road. All sorts of drama. And at least basic triage would have been able to be done at that polyclinic in St. John. That proper dental care, the dental chair disappear. I know if they bring back one, but a dental chair was secured for the St. John facility. It ended up somewhere the other day, say. So that all the people from St. Patrick and some of the people from St. Mark and all the people in St. John and so on could have gone there and had their dental work and so done. And that when some of the different medical missions visit the island, they definitely should have been able to go to St. John and utilized a fully equipped facility to do some of the things that people from St. John know how to leave and go down to the trade center, or leave and go down to town, or leave and try to reach in all different areas, when it should have been available to people right there in St. John. So when people say that St. John does not have a representative right now, they are correct. When people say, some people watch their finger and they want to cut off the finger because they say, oh God, look what I do myself. And I tell them, no, you're going to need that finger soon again. Don't cut it off. Don't cut off that finger. Because what you put in, you have to take out. Yeah? What you put in, you have to take out, and you're going to need that finger to do it. So don't chop off the finger. Don't vex with the finger. We make mistakes in life. That was a mistake, and you're seeing it clear for the mistake that it was right now. But we will be having a proper representative at the end of the next general election in the person of Mr. Alvin Dabrio, who has a proven track record, who is a proven performer. And you can see it. And you know of many of the people in the constituency who have benefited from it. And while they have fiddled and fumbled with what would have been one of the premier housing projects on the island in Stony Gut, while they have fiddled and fumbled with that project, which at this stage right now in 2025 should have been way advanced right now. You should have had houses going up already, because the infrastructure by this time, with a new National Party government in place, the infrastructure would have been done, and you'd have had houses in various stages of completion by this point in time had the new National Party been in government. Instead, what do you have? Obfuscation and excuses by the present MP and her cohorts in relation to that project. That's what we have. Oh, there were no plans for it. We showed you the plans on this program. Oh, there were no lands for it. We show you where the lands was for it too. But you see, housing project only good for their friends. In their eyes, housing project is not for the people of St. John, because they don't really like you all. They tolerate you all. They need your votes, but they ain't find that good, that too good to get the people of St. John. And you know that is the general behavior of the NDC administration of Grenada at this point in time. They find things too good for you. It ain't too good for them, but it's too good for you. Yeah? Chips! Good night, bro. Good night. They find that these things are too good for the people of St. John. Just like they found that the houses in St. David and in St. Patrick and in Carriacou, they found that those houses were way too good. In St. Mark, they have some too in Beaujeu. They found that those houses way too good for the average Grenadian. So what did they do? They changed it. What was supposed to be low-income houses, when the ribbon was cut on it, in English and in Chinese, it had on the houses what? Low-income houses. The sign that was in Mandarin, the sign that was in the King's English, it said what? Low-income housing. Before the election, the Prime Minister was speaking about the poor and vulnerable people who need housing, and that the new National Party are houses lock up. And then it's only when we came on this program, I like to pat myself on the back, but when we came on this program and play those clips and call him out on it, they run quick. And they go cutting ribbon for a set of houses that the ribbon was already cut for. Because the ribbon was cut in 2021? The ribbons were already cut and the keys were handed over. But they went and cut ribbon again and say they're having ceremony because we shamed them. Then they look at the houses, they say, no, these houses too nice to give to poor people in this country. These houses way too nice to give to low income. We have some friends who are overseas, who have the financial means, and we have some friends locally who have the financial means, and we are going to ensure that these people get the houses instead. So they changed the criteria and locked out the vast majority of people whom the houses were supposed to go to. Lock them out. No opportunity for you. So right now, there are literally thousands of people that have been added to the list because after the whole process closed, they came in and opened the process again to 15 people. So there are people that came in and skip over 4,000 people to get a house. And there are other people that were well qualified and deserving. Their situation and their circumstances were deserving of one of those low-income houses. They never got it. So don't be surprised when the same government that did that take the houses in Bujeju and do as they want with it, that take back houses from the people in Carriacou that had the documents for it already, that the same number 10 went up in Carriacou and was a witness to them handing over. I can't remember if she actually handed over too. These documents to some of these people who are listening this program tonight. Some of you listening this program tonight know what I'm talking about. Because you were at that ceremony and you received your documents only to receive, when this NDC administration come in, to receive information from them that the house that you was already preparing for, that your family was helping you to go and fix, because Carriacou people does help each other. That is one thing, Carriacou people does help each other. Carriacou people, whether you might say one brother in Canada and one in England, one could be in Australia, but they put in together and help the brother that in Carriacou still. That is Carriacou people. So Carriacou people were helping their relatives, already trying to get things like little furniture and things for them to nice up the local house and make the house into a home. Because there's a difference between the two, to make the house into a home, only to be told you're no longer getting the house. I know of situations, and I can give names of people who ended up in that situation, who were supposed to get houses and never got them. I know of situations like that. Oh dear, I'm sorry about that. I missed a call or two. Call back. Yeah, I know of the situations like that. So when you hear that the Stony Gut project and you hear you have problems and all of a sudden they're saying this wasn't in place and that wasn't in place, by this point in time, Alvin Dabrio would already have had houses being built there. And some of the people in St. John who needed housing would have been catered for under that project. And the only way that you, the people of St. John, are speaking to you right now, you, the people of St. John, the only way that you will get that project back on track, the only way that you will have representation who does spend the time in St. John and not liming in Dubai, not going in Brussels to talk about seaweed and then doing nothing about the seaweed when it come in. The only way you will have a representative who understands what you are about to go through, that in less than 3 months, in other words, at the end of the year, you will no longer be able to ship fish to the United States, which is the biggest market for your fish. You're not sending loads of fish over to England. Yes, we have the European market, but how much fish do you send there? Your biggest market is the United States. And you will no longer be able to send a scale, much less a fish. And we ain't talking about the scale to weigh, we're talking about the one on the fish. You wouldn't be able to send that to the United States. You wouldn't be able to send any lambi. You would not be able to send any lobster. And you know what that's doing to the people of St. John, and what that's doing to the people of Petit Martinique. I know families in Petit Martinique that dive lobster. And that is how they make a living in and between with the fishing and so on. They go and they dive lobster. I know of families, I could call names of families and individuals that are involved in that. And right now are about to lose their livelihood. Because the local market cannot absorb what they are doing to the level that they would be able to make a living off of it. That is why they export. And they would want you to believe we're talking about a couple $100,000 there. No way, sisters and brothers. We are speaking about millions of dollars that the Grenadian economy is going to lose if we are locked out of the US market. I don't know if they go and find alternative markets in Ghana. I have no problem with the people of Ghana. I have no problem with the people of the motherland. But I don't know, they go and find markets there? How is it going to be transported? It's fish. We're going to have direct flights between Grenada and Ghana, bringing fish from Grenada, tuna and so on over to Ghana. Is it going to be absorbed, or is it going to be a situation that Ghana is actually going to be sending fish to us? What is the situation? Because we already heard the Prime Minister, he really interested about these kind of things. You sign a little MOU when they go to say you do something. But we know the real thing is he just fixing the bucket list. Because the Prime Minister is on record as saying that his bucket list is to visit Africa. So he's making sure and tick off every box for every country. In Africa, you want to visit all of them. Yeah, but for some reason, there's always be going one and end up in Nigeria. I know what it is, and only end up in Nigeria. Anyway.
We have been pursuing deliberate diplomatic relations with as many African countries as possible. We are pursuing visa waiver agreements with our brothers and sisters in Africa. Because I don't know what you, Terry, but when people talk about the bucket list, my bucket list is to go to Africa. My bucket list is to go and see, have a safari. My bucket list is to go to South Africa and to see where the great leader is. My bucket list is to go to Africa. My bucket list is to go and see, have a safari. My bucket list is to go to South Africa and to see where the great leader Nelson Mandela was incarcerated. When people talk about the bucket list, my bucket list is to go to Africa. My bucket list is to go and see, have a safari. My bucket list is to go to South Africa and to see where the great leader Nelson Mandela was incarcerated. And yet still after 20 plus years of imprisonment, he didn't come out bitter, he didn't come out resentful.
Yeah, okay, you want to go and see, okay, right, nice, all right, you want to go and see it and all kind of thing. Do it on your own. Because folks, when you see the size of the delegations that go into these things, because the Prime Minister does travel like if he's Beyonce and he carrying a whole press kit with him. So when he's going, he has to carry a photographer. So that means you have to pay for the flight for the photographer. A man that going just to take pictures. This man is leaving Grenada and going to a place with people that are taking pictures to take pictures. That is his whole job. Just leave Grenada. So we are paying, you are paying, I am paying, we are all paying for one individual to leave Grenada to go and take pictures in a place that have a pile of people taking pictures already. That's what your tax dollars is going into. Yeah, that's what important to them. Outside of that, the Prime Minister travels with his own secretary. We ain't talking about security. That is necessary. That is absolutely necessary as a head of government. You're traveling to different countries and so on. That's a given. So forget that. We're not talking about that part of it. But you're traveling with all these different people that really and truly make no sense economically or otherwise. You're telling me that you're visiting Africa and that the people that you're visiting have no cameraman, they have no press corps, there are no media there that your people can get the photos from and the videos from and that sort of thing? That you have to spend nothing under $40,000 to $50,000 Nothing under that. That's the baseline. Because you're speaking of tickets from Grenada to the UK, from the UK to Brussels, from Brussels to possibly the UK, then from the UK to Nigeria, then from Nigeria over to Ghana, then from Ghana back to the UK, then from the UK back to Grenada. And that's not just the tickets of the Prime Minister we're speaking about here. That's of the entire delegation. So that's the Prime Minister, that's his secretary, that's his cameraman, and the lineman buddies and them that he going with too, because we realize now that he's appearing in these places with his lineman buddies, and the only way we find out sometimes is when a picture leak out. That is what is taking place with your tax dollars. They like to talk about tax dollars and misuse. That's what's taking place with your tax dollars by the present Prime Minister of this country. An individual who is spending over $20,000 a month to rent his hilltop paradise while the Prime Minister's residence sits empty. Well, it ain't so empty, you know. Maybe you have bush. Yeah, it's full of bush. There's a bush. Just come and cut it now and again. But there is a Prime Minister's residence. Now, if the Prime Minister was using his own residence, that was something totally different. If he had, that was his residence and he was using it, and say, well, I don't want to use the Prime Minister's residence, that was different. But to make you pay, because I like to talk about misuse, we could talk about misuse, and I could do 6 programs on misuse by this administration. Maybe 6 programs is under the amount. I could do much more than that. Because that is misuse. So you have been paying for a place for him to stay all this time, when there is a place, another place that you're also paying for him to stay. Unnecessary burden on the Grenadian taxpayer. Unnecessary. But we don't have no say in it. Yes, go ahead. It doesn't seem as though we have a say in it. But the day will come when you have a say. That day is election day. So when you awake on election morning, these things must form part of your mind at that day, your memory. That man do me that for the last 3 and some years, because he's reaching for 3 and some years. When you're heading to the polling station and you go and you put the Lasher X, just make sure the X mark proper. We don't want to spoil ballot. Remember all these things that they have done. Because I see them put out a list of things and say, Papa, I see them put out a list of things and say, oh, they achieved this and they achieved that and thing. You all want to know something? It's after 9 now. Let me play something here for you all to remind you all of something here. I want to talk about do this and do that and all kind of thing. And you know, all you remember a statement that was made. This was made for the 2024 budget. So this was made in December of 2023. And let's hear what I'm talking about here, what the statement that was made was.
After widespread consultation, we have made the prudent decision to transition out of MNIB into a largely private sector-led entity. The reform of MNIB was the best option. Mr. Speaker, the reform of the MNIB is progressing reasonably well. As I speak, the following has been realized. The successful refinancing of approximately $5 million of MNIB debt on more favorable terms and conditions, realizing hundreds of thousands of dollars in savings to taxpayers. The settlement of claims to MNIB by MNIB third-party creditors, including farmers and agro-processors, to the tune of $2 million. The settlement of all claims to MNIB staff, including NIS and pension contribution. The receipt of the first draft of the framework for the establishment of a new private sector-led entity. Mr. Speaker, barring any unforeseen circumstances, the new entity will be fully operational by June of 2024.
Oh, by June of 2020, what year are we in now? 2025, isn't it? Yeah, it's not 4 at the end. In fact, look behind your head is the 2024. So barring any unforeseen, Yeah, but I thought only brilliant and only supposed to see everything. No, so barring any unforeseen, by June 2024, that is when the new MNIB was supposed to be in operation. Let me hear again.
Circumstances, the new entity will be fully operational by June of 2024. New private sector led entity. Mr. Speaker, barring any unforeseen circumstances, the new entity will be fully operational by June of 2024. So, Mr. Speaker,
Yeah, let me hear the final part of this.
while they talk, we do.
Oh, while they talk, we do. Oh, so you're doing. Oh, that's wonderful, bro. So let me hear you again with this final part of the thing, man. Yeah, let me hear you on that again. Because we are now in October of 2025, and you promised the new Marketing and National Importing Board when? You promised it in June of 2024. And all is supposed to be brilliant, all is supposed to be smart, all is supposed to be the ones with all the answers. But we are now in October, nearly in November. By the end of next week, we're into November of 2025. And while you have the little place operating and thing there, we ain't seen no new marketing board yet. But let me hear you again.
NIS and pension contribution. The receipt of the first draft of the framework for the establishment of a new private sector led entity. Mr. Speaker, barring any unforeseen circumstances, the new entity will be fully operational by June of 2024. The receipt of the first draft of the framework for the establishment of a new private sector led entity. Mr. Speaker, barring any unforeseen circumstances, the new entity will be fully operational by June of 2024.
I hope all the knocking table now. Yeah, I hope all the knocking table, all knock table, man. Knock the pong table. That was budget presentation 2024. It was made, and remember, the budget for 2024, you do that presentation in 2023. So that was since 2023 that we were told that the new entity would have been ready and around by June 2024. Then, in the 2025 budget, which was read in 2025, yeah, I think it was that one in 2024. But in the 2025 budget, we start to hear about marketing board again, innit? And come nothing, what happened to you? Stop that. Play how you're supposed to play. Where you getting on with? I'm way. What's the matter with you? Yeah, play properly. Nice.
Despite the challenges, government remains committed to transparency and accountability in this transition. The engagement of a strategic partner is key to building a modern, efficient, and sustainable entity that will better serve farmers, agro-processors, and the broader economy. To this end, a new company, Import Export Act Limited, has been established to replace the MNIB. The legal and financial experts are developing a prospectus and legal arrangements to engage a suitable strategic partner.
Boss, the budget before that, you tell us the thing will be ready in June last year. But you come in March of this year now and telling us this thing again, or let's still, let me hear when you'll go ready with it now.
And I have new entity up and running before the end of the third quarter of 2025.
Before the end of the third quarter, boss, we in the final quarter of 2025 now, you know. If I was you, what I got to do my budget speech this year, me ain't talking about marketing and national importing board and I'm telling people I forget. I ain't going and saying nothing. Because this is embarrassing now. Yeah? In 2023, you told us it's going to be ready by June of 2024. Yeah? And how others talking and we work. Now, in March of 2025, you tell us it's going to be ready by the third quarter of 2025. We are now in the last quarter of 2025. Yeah? We in the last quarter. We nearly make $1 now. We're in the last quarter of 2025. And we can't see marketing, we can't see national, and we can't see importing board. The new one, the new entity, all you say, all you go in and bring. We can't see it. Come in the budget and talk about it again this year. Come. I'll help you write your budget speech.
Despite the challenges, government remains committed to transparency and accountability in this transition. The engagement of a strategic partner is key to building a modern, efficient, and sustainable entity that will better serve farmers, agro-processors, and the broader economy. To this end, A new company, Import Export Act Limited, has been established to replace the MNIB. The legal and financial experts are developing a prospectus and legal arrangements to engage a suitable strategic partner and have new entity up and running before the end of the third quarter of 2025.
Yeah, so we move 2024, 2025. Next thing you tell us, well, you can't tell us in 2025 again, so we know we're reaching to 2026 now. And after that, we will realize, look, we're out of government. But anyhow, you take it. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that they approach us with. That is what these people and them are about. Incompetent. Incompetent. I think we have a caller on the line. Let's go to the phone line.
Well, you can't tell us in 2025
Hello, good night.
again, so we know
Load the volume in the background. Load the volume in the background, caller.
Good night, Mr. Scott.
Kill the volume in the background, caller. Kill the volume in the background.
Load the volume, Mr.
Yes, go right ahead.
Good night, sir. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Blessings, man. Greetings in the name of Christ.
All right.
Mr. Scott, I listen to your program very clearly. And I've been attentive. Why these men are telling all these lies? Why they doing this? Why do you tell Grenadian the truth? From 2022 to 2024, from 2025 to 2025, in the quarter year still? You're trying to make us a fool or what? You take us as stupidity? Watch, tell this man and them say, they had enough. They take what they take already. They pocket fat. Everybody taking and go, please.
I have an aunt that would have said, I have an aunt that would have called, let's send the fool further on.
You know what I'm saying? You're lying too much. Big people mustn't tell lies like this. And Grenadians sit down there and say, oh, these people and them, they're doing good. Good will lie. To lie for us and not tell us the truth. All them men telling us is lying. Look, they can come and say, no, he don't tell the American nothing yet. When you go tell them? When you go tell them? What is man lying? They're lying too much. That's what I was always say, Mr. Scott. I can't have respect for the Khan. I can't call the Khan Prime Minister. I call him a liar. I don't call him in name. Them man, I don't call them out. Them man lying too much. Speak the truth. Tell Grenadian you don't have the money. Tell Grenadian you can't make it. You don't have what it takes. Give the NP who there for all these years. Put things in the right perspective. Do things according to for the people of Grenada. People was proud to see NNP there. Now you come in power, you can do nothing and then line like they build a wall for woman in Mongo Road. She had to climb it. You ever see that? No step. I know they had to cut the wall to make a step for the woman to pass.
But my friend, I'm still trying to wonder. So this Minister of Finance, I believe budget day is somewhere around the 3rd or something like early in December. He's coming to tell us about the Marketing and National Importing Board again.
It's obviously
2 budget presentation. You're giving us 2 different time.
You're not speaking the truth. They're not speaking the truth. They're lying too much. You're talking about Dr. Mitchell corrupt, but this is the biggest corrupt government I've ever seen in whole history in Grenada. This government. They're too corrupt.
Well, we are waiting to hear. The latest we know is the Prime Minister is now using the excuse, and I believe that was in September. The Prime Minister, when it comes to the Marketing Board, is using the excuse that they can't find financials. So they're in office since 2022. They're making announcements in the budget speech of 2023. They make announcements in the budget speech of 2024 and 2025. And only now, after they go and bamboozle people, they start to speak about the financials. Now they know about financials of the company and they can't find financials or financials were not done. And they now knowing about that. These people held consultations around the island. They held meetings with the people. They tell you that they pay off different bills of the company, all sort of thing. And after all that, they now know that there are no financials and all this kind of thing. Now they know. And given the impression like it's only under NNP, like NDC wasn't in office and Marketing Board wasn't there during NDC time. No,
because the Prime Minister take all the money and fly. Take all the money and got into Dubai and all about with it. He don't care about Grenada. Imagine that I had they can say, he gonna represent himself, in Africa. He don't gonna say representation for the people of Grenada, Carriacou and Pity Martin, quite himself, I hear play a clip there when I go in.
It would be very interesting to find out the cost to the Grenadian taxpayer of that African trip. Yeah? If somebody wants to go Africa and they pay on their own and go, that's all well and good. But somebody completing the bucket list while you have medication that you can't find in the hospital and the health centers, while you have situations with families that can't put food on the table, they can't send their children to school, while you have the situation with the bus drivers suffering, the taxi operators telling you that they're in problems, while you have people that can't find jobs in the country, while you have mothers that cannot send their children to school because they are not working and they don't have the financial ability to do it. They can't even buy a pair of glasses for the children because of the financial strain that they are under, and the child need the glasses and so on. I know what I'm talking about because I get the messages on a daily basis. While all of that is taking place, you take taxpayer money and go and fill your bucket list in Nigeria and Ghana and want to go South Africa and Rwanda and all these places, fulfilling your bucket list while Grenadians are suffering.
Mr. Scott, what you're saying is absolutely true. People are crying out. People are bawling. There's some of them, the more just closed. I don't know if some of them don't know how to bawl again. I don't know, maybe their voice goes somewhere. But it's a fact. What you're saying is reality. People are hurting. Look at it. The man he just raised the crown bill. I see a lady tell me she had $400 and something. I didn't get a bill again. She said $900 and something. Right by me working place. She ball and she has chung in this year. $950 something. She ball. She said she pay for something. I said, well, I'll do a vote and put them there. Eh? And I listened to Mr. Gary Bowen last night talking about the terms of the fuel charge man take out to kill Grenadian. You see this man evil.
My brother, as you mentioned that, and I think I need to cut that piece out and play it on the program next week, or at least bring Brother Bowen on, because that the insight that he gave in relation to what is taking place with the electricity bill now, it was very insightful what he said last night in relation to it, and how he explained what the New National Party did to get the cost of electricity down for average Grenadians. This government, it looked like they broke, so they had to put the tax back onto it and try to raise the amount of money now that they're going to raise from Grenlec, because remember, Grenlec is no longer owned by some Miami-based company. It's the government of Grenada. So it's not like Grenlec is operating without knowing that government, what government wants. Government is giving directives. And
these people I'm like so much about. I don't know what to say with this man.
As the opposition leader mentioned, the Prime Minister spoke of the shareholders of Grenlec. Remember, Deacon Miss Mitchell was the lawyer representing Grenlec, or in fact, the company out of Miami that was the owner of Grenlec, the main shareholder of Grenlec. We do not know when he speaks about the shareholders if he's speaking about himself, because it may very well end up finding out in the future that he's a major shareholder in Grenlec, and when he's speaking about profits for the shareholders, he's speaking about profits to himself. We may very well find out that in the future.
Sheldon, let me just say good night to my parliamentary representative, Dr. Modest, the mother of the house, mother in the constituency. Good night to you, and God blessing over your life. And to my political leader, Sister MNP, don't worry, we're holding the fort. We're keeping the fort. We're holding tight. We're staying strong. And I want to ask my NP supporters, be strong. Be strong. As Joshua said, be strong and be have good courage. Take heart. We're coming back. It's time for these people to get out of this place. These people don't care about Grenada. If they had cared about Grenada, that man would have stayed here to check on all the situations that are happening in Grenada. We have a problem with the fishermen up in Carriacou, fishermen in Guave in terms of tuna. January month, they won't able to be sold.
Boss, you know how much money? Do you know how much money these guys make off of one tuna? According to the quality of the tuna, they make good money, And to take that away from them, because they wouldn't, on the local market, they would not be able to make the kind of money that they make on the international market for tuna. And plus, it's basically 100,000 Grenadians. Some people get vexed when I say that, but it's basically 100,000 Grenadians. There is no possible way that we would be able to consume all of the fish that these guys usually go out and catch. No way.
It's
Unless
true.
everybody decides we're eating seafood
We don't
alone.
marketing Grenada for that.
Well, unless we decide we're eating seafood alone and we stop import chicken,
We-
we're not
we don't
eating
need to.
chicken, that's the only
We don't
way
need to.
you might be have a chance of getting close to consuming all of that. But there's no way that you would be able to consume it on the local market. So as of now, for some of the guys, it doesn't make sense for them going out there because they're not sure that they would be able to go out there and catch stuff and then be able to sell it. So they don't even want to go out right now.
Because you have some fishermen too, sheldon, they prefer to buy chicken and the fish. So they eat it so much that they eat the chicken and they live in the fish. But sheldon, continue doing the great job you're doing, man. You're doing a great job. And that is what they feel about you. You understand? You're doing an excellent job. Keep the foot. Keep the preaching. Let them hear the word. We need to hear. Because a lot of them say now about how what the government this and the government that, the government this, the government doing this, government you can't see. All projects I see all up. As you show me a project in Closure up there. But what going on in Closure now? Closure road gone again?
Well, we have to
You don't
ask,
care about it again, you don't?
we have to. No, they don't care about the people of St. John in general. They don't care about people in general,
Yeah.
but especially people. I don't know what sin my brothers and sisters of St. John have committed that they are being treated in such a way. I don't know what sin they have committed, but I pray that they are blessed with a proper and new representative at the end of the next general election, so that the
All right.
waste of time that they have in place right now could go their way. Just go. Just leave. Go.
All right, shit, I don't take much time. Now say good night again to Mr. Alvin Dabro. Because we're doing a fantastic job as well too.
All right, my brother.
People have said want him back. They want him back. They call him back for him. They say, Mr. Dabro, we're sorry. We make a bad choice, but you're gonna come back. Have a good night, brother.
All
Keep
right.
on holding on the good work.
Thank you
Holy
so very
faith.
much, my brother. All right, great.
Yeah, bless, brother. All right.
Yes, indeed, folks. Yeah, the phone lines are open. You can call 1473 440 7377. That's the number for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. That's 1473 440 7377. But you can't call us direct. You have to call us on WhatsApp. Yeah, we can only take the WhatsApp calls. We cannot take the direct calls, so you've got to call us on the WhatsApp to get onto the program. Yeah, and people still calling the straight line. No, you have to call us on the WhatsApp to get onto tonight's program. Yeah, folks, this is the situation that we Grenadians find ourselves in. Yeah, with a group of incompetent individuals at the helm of our government. Incompetent to the core. And some of them are too busy loading their pockets right now. They're too busy loading their pockets. Because I'm sure if you check their assets and liabilities, yeah, in June of 2022, and you check the assets and liabilities now, you realize that some of them, all of a sudden, they get rich. And some of them have gotten wealthy. Yeah, there's a difference, eh? Some of them get rich, and some of them have gotten wealthy. That is the situation with them right now. Meanwhile, you have categories of people that lost their jobs, and then they say they're giving you salary increases and so. Look at the salary increases and then look at the increase in the cost of living. And tell me if the salary increases haven't already been erased. You check the price that stuff has increased between 2022 and now, and tell me if the salary increases have not already been erased. Would it not have been more sensible, more decent, more reasonable, more realistic to try to lower the cost of living in Grenada? Instead of lowering the cost of living, this government is on an all-out attempt to increase the cost of living. But the Prime Minister ain't care, because you paying $20-something thousand for the place he's staying, and you still have to pay the electricity for it, you still have to pay the water for it, you still have to pay for the additional staff at that facility, you still have to pay, so it's way over $20-something thousand, you know. In realistically, you might even be speaking as much as 40-something thousand that you are paying on a monthly basis, so where he's staying while the Prime Minister residence empty. And you heard, it's only when we came on this program and we say, listen, we get them out, and sometimes we need to hush. But we get them out. We come on the program and we say, well, listen, you are renting this place and we are hearing anything about the Prime Minister's residence. We're not hearing that you're going and rebuild it. We're not hearing that you put aside X amount of money to do this or that or the other. Then the Prime Minister come out on his program and say, oh, we're going to be rebuilding the Prime Minister's residence and so on. But when you check the budgetary allocation, there's nothing in the budget in relation to anything like that for rebuilding the Prime Minister's residence. He lie. And the budget document is online. Anybody can go and download it, and you can go through the entire document, all 400 and something pages. There is nothing inside there under the Prime Minister's ministry or Ministry of Works or any other ministry like MIT or whatever, which is not really a ministry. But none of them have anything about refurbishment, rebuilding a new Prime Minister's residence. None of them. So he lie. And if he a lie, show me the goods. Show me the money. Show me where it is now that you're going to be rebuilding a new Prime Minister's residence. After you spend, if it's not $1 million, well, at least so much hundreds of thousands on an unnecessary place. Show me the money now. But you see, they don't care about us. They do not care about the average Grenadian. So when I say I hear in things, because we hear that Andy Williams, we showed you on this program before that his business, he owes the government of Grenada in taxes, millions in taxes. We're not talking about the GDP. We don't know if that debt has been extinguished. We don't know if he still owes GDP or if he pay off GDP or if he paying off GDP, we don't know. But owes the government of Grenada millions in taxes. Millions. And we are hearing now that it seems as though that debt has been written off by the Minister of Finance, who has the ability to write off a debt. The Minister of Finance can write off a debt. Yeah, that's nothing, you can just write it off. So we are hearing that. We don't know if it's true. And we say clearly, we do not know if it is true. But we are saying there are journalists out there, and you Grenadians out there can ask the question of the Minister of Finance, because we might not get an answer from Andy. So we are saying that you may have to ask the question of the Minister of Finance if indeed that debt has been written off. Because we, the Grenadian people, need to know. Because in your cabinet, you have people that sit down owing millions of dollars to the government of Grenada. Millions. Yes, I could talk about it. Millions of dollars to the government of Grenada. And they're sitting in your cabinet. But all you're blind, all you can't see them. All you can see everybody else, but all you can't see them. Because all you feel somebody afraid of you. That's the mistake all you does make. All you actually feel all you could scare somebody. And all you actually feel all you could get somebody afraid of all you. But bigger than all you come before and went out 15-0. Bigger and better than you all came before and went out 15-0. Bigger and better than all you came before. Yes, I'm saying better than all you because they were still better than all you. It's the worst government ever. Bigger and better than you all came. Beat NNP 11-4 and went out what? 15-0. Already shame the night to announce the Prime Minister. Lose his seat too. 15-0. And all I'm saying now is NNPites, do your work. NNPites, do your work. Because if you don't do your work, you might find people voting on election day that you don't know. And that not from your area. And that otherwise would have been removed from the electoral scroll. Because remember, once they name day on election day, they could vote. Once when they check the list, that's the person and they could verify that's the person. That person with or without ID can vote on election day. So know all you're doing. because we cannot continue with this level of incompetence. You have a prime minister that just isn't interested. All he interested in is jump in a plane and go to different place. Jump a plane, go here. Jump a plane, go there. And then come and give you a false grin and a false smile because they're looking for the vote. Ask yourself, what did this person do for Grenada before they attained the office of Prime Minister? Were they ever interested in Grenadians? Were they ever interested in the well-being of Grenadians, or were they only interested in their rich friends and business associates? Were they only interested in their multi-million-dollar clients? Were they interested in you? Ask the people who lose their job in SGU. There are many of them around. If you want the names of some, check me, I will give you. There are many people who lost their jobs in SGU, especially during the COVID pandemic. Ask the people who were working in Grenlec. Ask the people who were working in the hotel sector and other areas. Who was the truncheon that was being used by big business to beat them? That word I used for a long time, truncheon. Who was the truncheon that was being used to beat them? And they boast that they was very successful at it. Yes, pressuring poor people, pressuring the workers of Grenada. And now they come with a false narrative. And you have to call it out for what it is, because it is not true that the NDC restored any pension. And you have young people in our country parroting that nonsense, because those of us who are elder are not speaking to them and telling them the truth. We have a caller online. Proceed, caller.
Hey, brother Sheldon, how are you doing?
I'm quite fine. Go right ahead.
Hey, brother Sheldon, when we look and see the attitude of this present Prime Minister, it is clear that Grenada could see that Prime Minister, he ain't care. He ain't care. And Grenada in trouble right now. From time NDC became in charge, Grenada sinking and sinking faster and faster. Grenada will always be in trouble under this administration, because the policy and the attitude towards people is always, especially poor people, always be in the negative. In the negative. All prime ministers live in the house in Montreal. When the prime minister is so proud of himself, tell himself that house of where all them prime ministers live is not good for him. It's not good for him. So he wants something better. Where he live, go and live in a place where the Grenadian taxpayer had to pay $20-something thousand for him to live in a house, and he hardly be in that house. But whenever Montaigne, that money had to come, taxpayer money had to come out for heat to pay for the rent for that house. If we really care and love people, you could spend some time there. You find out there need repairing, Montreal need repairing, and get material to repair the house and go back there within 6 months. You go back and live up there. But he don't care. He enjoying a lavish life, and more money they could get for and to help themselves and to enrich themselves. That's what they care about. They don't care about the poor people of Carriacou and Pitamatic. You got what going on. The thing with the request that America sent in August, he knew about it. He don't say nothing. He keep it. They only start to talk about it because it is leak. It is leak. So they go and accept. They say yes, that is true. Right? Don't have a thing like that. If you really care about any situation, you would try to see how to solve the problem. Say, give an answer to the American, either yes or no. Yes or no. But you don't open no, you don't give a reply yet. Right? Because I would expect, I heard that MCC would get a report tomorrow, please. Because it's about Parliament tomorrow, but I understand Parliament push back to next Tuesday, somewhere there. Right? He push back. So if the Prime Minister really cares about love people, and here the minister, you would seek the interest of the poor people before himself. When a man is very selfish and proud of himself, you only see himself and you don't see people. And Brother Sheldon, I call upon people going to carry compete matter. Yes, we recognize that you all go and vote for a sheep, a wolf in sheep clothing, thinking that that person was a kind of a good person, a person that love people. But we recognize this person only love himself and love his pocket and don't love people that really you should reach out help. Because he said in Parliament, he is a professional and he came to solve with distinction. I don't see from time this Prime Minister being a leader of the country, I don't see whenever he do anything to help better the living condition of the poor people in Greater Carriacou and Petermatic. Everyday thing going up. Everything up. Look at the cost of electricity bill. Look cost of food, everything going up. And government doing nothing to cushion the high cost of living in Greater Carriacou and Petermatic. And that will say you solve with this distinction. We want to solve with distinction. You have to reach out and better the life and make it easier for the poor people going to compete. What he are doing is making it more difficult for the poor people going to compete. But I want to ask the poor people going to compete. Have hope. NMP will be back to rescue all. Shall have a blessing.
All right. Thank you so very much, my brother. Yes, indeed, folks. 14734407377. That is the number for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. Yeah, we have to understand the group of individuals that we are dealing with right now. They are incompetent. And if we allow them to extend their incompetence into another term, we will not have a country called Grenada again. Our farmers gonna feel it, our fishermen gonna feel it, because you know the Marketing and National Importing Board that's the farmers thing. So up to now they can't come with the new National Marketing and National Importing Board. It was June last year, it ended up to third quarter this year. Now you're hearing about all kind of excuse being put forward by them. And in budget you go hear more excuse again in relation to this particular issue, because they are incompetent. They tell you in their manifesto, they tell you on their platform they're going to build 500 houses a year. Papa yo, if Hurricane Beryl didn't blow down some people's house last year, they would have built none, zero zilch, zot, none. Then you hear now that they come with all kind of mawet and mepui. All kind of nonsense they come in with now. So now you're hearing, oh, we starting Project 500 and they go and they build some project houses to show you what the houses will look like. But not one Grenadian has benefited, gotten the keys and been able to move into a Project 500 house, and that is a fact. Because they lie. Oh, they were the ones that deal with the pension. The Attorney General, obviously, is a lawyer. The Prime Minister himself is a lawyer. Go to the Public Workers Union. Ask them to let you know if these two individuals ever offered their legal, I hold back on using a particular word called expertise in this instance, because then we have the Attorney General added inside there. And I really want to accuse her of having any kind of expertise. But did they offer any legal advice? Did they offer to work pro bono or otherwise for the Public Workers Union on the pension issue? No. They were busy in private practice making their money, while the workers was fighting through the courts all these years. Every single May Day, and I have been to quite a few, I've watched quite a few. Every May Day, the issue of pension was coming up. Every May Day. And then workers picked up the issue and decided that they're going through the courts in relation to the pension issue. The new National Party could have challenged it, could have challenged the judgment and appealed the judgment and have the issue of pension and workers' pension tied up in the court system. Because remember, the case was brought under the NDC. If I remember correctly, it's the last NDC, the issue of the pension was brought up. They didn't say, well, okay, we ain't filing a defense. Let's just go through. No, they file a defense, innit? And that issue could have still been in the courts, and not a single person would have received pension at this point in time had the NNP, not the NDC, had the NNP decided to appeal the case. The NNP did not appeal the case. In fact, they set up a pension secretariat and they started the process of gathering information to make the payments to the workers. That was what the New National Party did. They lost the election, the NDC come in, then they come, they take over, they say they're doing secretariat, they're doing the same thing. They come and decide they're paying, and they're paying in a manner that endangered the public finances. So they went and they pay, and they say, see, we could pay, and all kind of thing. Ask yourself, how much of that money you see come back into the economy because of the way that it was spent? They went and they pay, no problem with that. I will never be upset with anybody receiving their just due, no problem with that. They received their money. But if they came in as run redhead, but we know into the brightest of fellas, eh, man? Yeah, into the brightest of fellas. Right now, yeah. He ain't the brightest of fellas. But this is the individual that come out and say no, that they didn't meet any money there, and so on. Talking about the monthly money that comes in and not talking about the savings that the NNP had been putting in place since 2013. Totally ignoring that. And not speaking about the money that NNP had saved and saying, well, it's only 60-something million. They come in and meet, and this kind of nonsense. Because we know you ain't too bright, so we can't expect better. I mean, man gal could blind, gal could seat in parliament. I could tell him the only other seat he getting in parliament is in the visitors gallery. That's the only one. All you feel he gain a seat in parliament again. The only seat Ron Redhead gain in parliament again is in the visitors gallery for the opening of parliament. That's the only thing. Or if he decide to visit to hear budget presentation or something. But after this election, that the only seat that he go be getting in parliament is in the visitors gallery. Definitely not down on the parliament floor. Not in the Senate, nor in the parliament. No way. I guarantee all you want to better. I betting all you on it, you know. Yeah? I betting all you on it. Because I'm sure these are the individuals that run our country at this point in time. These are the people that are putting forward all of the things that we are hearing there and giving you the impression that so much is being done. They solve the pension. Solve what pension issue? Why move from there with that? Solve what pension issue? How you solve the pension issue? NDC solved the pension issue? NDC went in the courts? NDC represented the workers? All NDC did is what any government had to do. Fulfill the mandate of the courts, which was to pay the workers. That's all NDC had to do. Putting that down as an achievement me foot. Achievement me foot. You know what? Let me let you know some of the things that coming up. Yeah. Let me just go into this quickly before I run out of time, because I realize like I only have roughly about a quarter. Time flies so fast tonight. I realize like I only have a quarter over. The St. David's New National Party. Let me use the radio advertising voice. The St. David's NNP constituency branch have their Christmas Lime. That's taking place on Friday, December the 19th, starting from 4 p.m. until. Taking place at the constituency office yard in La Sagesse, St. David. Eats and drinks on sale and music by a famous DJ. That's the St. David NNP constituency branch Christmas Lime, taking place on Friday, December the 19th from 4 p.m. until. See you there. All right, nice. And let me see if I could find our next one there. Nice. Hey, this one, yeah, let me see. This one here, nice. The New National Party Carriacou and Petit Martinique New York chapter presents their Fall Brunch. That's going to be taking place on the 16th of November 2025, and it's going to be at 302 East 91st Street between Lenox and Clarkson. Music by DJ Gemini Songs, and the price of the tickets only $30. Food in Saraka style. They're going to have fish, chicken, pork, cuckoo, roll rice, macaroni pie, and much, much more. I like the much, much more. Right? For tickets, you could contact Carlos at 718-813-6722. You could contact Nisha at 347-683-1997. Wilson at 917-75-1319. And Jacinta at 917-615-4918. That's the New National Party, Carriacou and Petit Martinique, New York chapter with their fall brunch. Nice? Yeah, so that one taking place at 302 East 91st Street between Lenox and Clarkson on the 16th of November, and the price of the tickets only $30. All right? And next week, yeah, telling all you from now, next week, it's the After Work Lime. All right, it's going to be taking place on the 31st of October, next week, Friday. That's the After Work Lime of the New National Party. They're going to have Eskimo-style drinks. They're going to be having some wonderful food. And you're going to be able to play a game of dominoes against the political leader and the chairman of the party and other individuals at the helm of the party. So you can go on out there. It starts from 4 p.m. You don't have to pay to enter, but you have to pay for your drinks. You pay for your thing to eat. You're making your little donation and thing. You understand? So that's taking place at the New National Party headquarters in Tempe, St. George. The After Work Lime of the New National Party taking place next week, Friday, from 4 p.m. And the Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique Nurses Association, they're having their 46th annual Black and White Gala. That's going to be taking place on December the 13th at Glen Terrace. Donation $145. Music by No Apology. So if the DJ plays something wrong, you go say no apology. Okay. Music by DJ No Apology. Cocktails between 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. And you know, at the end of that, they shift out the thing and it's dancing time. All right, for tickets, you can contact Wendy at 917-602-1476. Rahim at 646-322-8385. Janine at 917-690-1387. Sandra at 347-268-3196. And Olivia at 347-739-4725. So that's the Grenada and Carriacou Petit Martinique Nurses Association 46th annual gala, and that will be taking place on December the 13th at Glen Terrace. All right, folks, we're going to open the phone lines again. 1473, yeah, because we have a limited amount of time remaining. So we're going to open the phone lines again for those of you that would like to call in. And just a quick reminder as well from our friends.
For more information, contact We Noise TV at 929-445-4463. Or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com. We Noise TV, the leading streaming provider. Anytime, anywhere, any screen. Access to your favorite HD contents with prices as low as ever. Choose from monthly, quarterly, or yearly payments. This worldwide service is flexible for you to keep up with all your favorite programs, shows, movies, and local programming from home no matter where you travel to. Worldwide TV channels right at your fingertips wherever you are. Latest in live sports, binge watch all your favorite TV shows, movies on demand, videos on demand you can pause, rewind, fast forward anytime. Never miss 1 minute in entertainment important to you. No contracts, no added prices for sports or premium packages. We certainly don't have to pull tricks like cable and satellite companies. Our product speaks for itself and beyond. We Noise TV. We have everything like Netflix, Disney, Amazon. Watch your favorite movies, TV shows, and series with our services. With our service, you will get rid of all other subscriptions. For more information, contact We Noise TV at 929-445-4463. Or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, I had to play one more. One more. Yeah, wait, don't leave yet and all. Yeah, don't play all your leaving and thing yet. We have one more to
Are
play.
you ready to take your brand to the next level? Look no further than the Chameleon Design Studios, the creative powerhouse behind Key Central and dozens of standout brands across Grenada and beyond. From web designs, animations, and motion graphics to custom video productions, we bring your visions to life with unmatched efficiency and professionalism. Need a logo? Logo design starts at just $1,500. And our starter pack includes brochures, call cards, and letterheads. Whether you're launching a new business, revamping your identity, or telling your story visually, Chameleon Design Studios is the new face of designs. Call us now at 1473-422-8601 or scan that QR code. Follow us on Instagram at chameleon_473. Let's communicate. Call us today.
Yes, indeed, folks. And somebody messaged me a while ago and they were asking me about what has the new National Party ever done for agriculture. And let me tell them. Back in the 1990s, and Michael Batiste spoke about it sometime earlier this month, there was a thing called the pink mealybug that was affecting loads of different types of crops throughout Grenada. I dare say Carriacou and Petit Martinique as well, but especially in Grenada. Your sugar apple, I remember it used to cover them sugar apple and soursop, but die way the bad. Your mango, all different things used to have it. And due to that, Grenada, which was at that point in time shipping a lot of fruits and so overseas, was stopped from sending it overseas because you had this pink mealybug problem. And it was the new National Party. Remember in the 1995 general election, one of the things was if Brizan stay, the mealybug stay. If Brizan go, the mealybug go. And in that election campaign, the new National Party said, if you give us the chance and we come in, we will deal with that issue as a matter of priority on coming into office. And when the 1995 new National Party came to office, they did indeed deal with that problem. To the point of where Grenada ended up being one of the only countries that were able to send fruits and vegetables to the United States when other countries in the region were not able to handle the pink mealybug problem. That was a challenge that the NNP had to effectively deal with. You also have a situation where during the period of the new National Party is when the banana, remember before back in the 1990s, you're passing place, you're seeing sugar cane, you're seeing banana, those kind of things. But then that is when the banana thing fall through, not just for Grenada, for the entire Caribbean. And it was the new National Party that had to guide the process of how some farmers transition from banana into other crops and those sort of things. It was the new National Party that did the farm roads in each and every parish all over Grenada. It was the new National Party in St. Patrick, in St. John, in St. Mark, in St. Andrew, in St. George. It was the new National Party in St. David that did the farm roads. And again, you can't measure the farm roads that the new National Party did in feet. You have to measure them in miles. Of course, what happened? Some of the farmers and them, they get the farm roads and so. And what ended up happening? Well, it's a road inside here now. They stop plant and they sell the plot for people to put houses and so. It's the people land. You can't tell them they can't sell their land. But it was the new National Party that ensured that there were proper roads in these areas for the farmers to be able to get their crops from their farm to market properly. That's just some of the things that the new National Party did. From fertilizer for farmers to the different people who were able to go out, because they tried to give the impression nobody ever go out on agricultural scholarships and so on during the period of the new National Party. Nonsense. The people who were able to go out and do agricultural studies during the period of the new National Party. To all of the different elements that were necessary so that you could still have a farming industry in Grenada right now. Not to the level that we would want it, but government can provide is the people to work along with government in relation to it. So that restaurants and hotels will not have to be ordering their stuff from outside of Grenada, but they can get what they need in Grenada. Because you have the families that the farming land been in the family for a couple generations. And the younger generation come up, and because it have a farm road now, they say, well, okay, we could get electricity and water in that area now. And then they subdivide, they cut up the area and they start to sell it out as housing spots. So areas where there was cocoa, areas what used to be banana or sugarcane back in the day, or areas that was cocoa or whatever, nutmeg, different spices, that those have been cut down, not by government, not by NNP, but by us as Grenadians. We are the ones that cut down the trees, the nutmeg trees, and the clove, and the spice trees. We are the ones that cut it down and sell the spot for housing spots right now. So there are areas that you know that before heavy spice used to come out from there, heavy nutmeg, etc. used to come out from those areas. And now it's beer houses that in them spaces. Who sell the land? Not the government. The people who own it are the ones that sold it. So the New National Party did as much as could have been done in the circumstances regarding agriculture. A lot of people speak about agriculture. This was the same government that told you they're going to bring in those bucket trucks from the electricity company. Yeah, they would bring in the bucket trucks and so on. And that on an evening time, they would take them and go around the country and pick the mangoes and pick the different fruits and so on. That wasn't what I was telling you all on the election campaign trail? That they would take the bucket trucks and so that go out to fix the electricity line and so. And they just lying idle. I don't know since when people just go and pick things in the night, because in the night time them thing parking up, or late evening, that they would take them to go and pick mango and pick fruits and so on. That we had too much fruits wasting on the ground. Has that situation changed? Because these people put out their list of lies, and you have too many people believing it, because some of us are not speaking. I blame myself. All these things I just blame myself. Before I blame anybody for something, I take and blame myself. That is how I was grown. Don't go and blame this one. Oh, he do it. She do. No. Check yourself first. After you finish here, then you start to go out there. But check yourself first. So I am taking blame. Because maybe I have not been speaking enough. Maybe people like myself who know better have not been speaking enough. Or maybe we have been speaking, but speaking in the wrong forums. Maybe we need to find other forums to speak in. So I have to check myself first, and each of us have to do the same thing. Because when you could see the NDC putting out this list of lies, and that is why I just call it not achievement list, it's list of lies. When they put out their list of lies, we must be able to talk and tell them straight they lie. Because we know better than that. We know that these people are lying. My only problem with the list of lies is I don't make the list this time. Last time I did make the list of achievements. Their list of lies. I didn't make the list the last time. I don't make the list this time, boy. They forget how to go add that one in now. They forget it. That is how desperate they are. They can't show you the 500 houses. They can't show you the bucket trucks going around the island picking the fruits. And the canning places and so on, canning the fruits and utilizing all the fruits in Grenada. They can't show you those things. They can't show the permanent employment for everybody within the public service as soon as they come into office. They can't show you those things. So they have to come with their list of lies. But I hope that they know that lies have an expiry date. And the expiry date for theirs has long passed. But what will pass very soon, what is coming up, and what they cannot avoid. And Camille Teresa Scott, what they cannot avoid is they cannot avoid the election day. It coming. And it coming for sure. I know some of them, their belly does start to boil every time they hear that. Because that morning definitely will come. And it will be followed by a night when the ballots are counted. And when the ballots finish counting, Grenadians would have made the right choice to remove incompetence and replace it with proven performers with a track record of achievement and moving Grenada forward economically and otherwise. Not in just words. Not taking $500,000 and put lights on the carnage and then go and root them up and hope nobody ain't talk about it. Not burning, from what we hear, $2 million in drone show. No. Not in spending millions on a secretariat. We'll have people that make sure that those monies go into the hands of the average Grenadian. So that when Christmas come in, they don't have to wonder if they go taste a piece of ham. They wouldn't have to wonder if they will be able to get a piece of chicken to eat on Christmas Day. They wouldn't have to wonder, or they wouldn't have to be calling some family member in the United States to run down to MoneyGram or run down to Western Union or find somebody going Grenada to bring down some money for them so that they could have a nice Christmas, or to try to get a barrel out by now so that they don't end up tied up on the port in December. They wouldn't have to do that because they would have their own finances and be able to do what they have to do, what they can do for themselves. Folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight and this week. It's been wonderful being here with you, and we will be back, God's willing, and we know, because believe me, you had some challenges in the last few months if it wasn't for God. God's willing, on Monday, we'll be back with more Talking Points for you. My name is Sheldon Scott, and whatever you do this weekend, do it safe and secure. We want to be speaking to you, we want to be speaking with you, and we don't want to be having a conversation about you like in the past tense. Love each and every one of you. I am out.